Hey guys, my name is Sam, and welcome back to Samcraft. In today's video, I'm going to keep addressing my workshop organization, changing the layout type situation that I started in last time's video. That's called shop vlog number 2. I believe it's called hardwood storage hoard. It's the one where I took all this hardwood out from storage and put it here to look at it. Well, it's still there, and I'm still looking at it. Would you look at it? Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm back in the shop today, and what I want to do is continue organizing the space. And I started by moving my workbench from off the wall to right here in what was the cubby. I don't know if I like it. Now, I like the workbench being off the wall better than I do against the wall. What I don't know if I like is the whole how these three things here are working together. Workbench, table saw, and what I'm using as an assembly type setup, it's a dresser that I got from my grandmother's house. But I don't know if I like these three, how they're laid out. Mainly the thing that I'm not liking is here at my workbench, my vise is here, but it's kind of slammed up against a wall. We'll call it a wall there. And if I want to work any long material with a plane or anything at my workbench, it's just going to hit that wall. So I don't like it there. I'm thinking I can put the workbench here where the table saw is. That would alleviate the whole being close to the wall thing, but it would kind of give the video kind of an ugly backdrop. I guess I could pretty that up later. That's something that I'm addressing in my shop that's very different from what most people are going to run into with their shops. Is I'm trying to make sure this is a functional space, but also a good looking space, and one that also looks good on video, because I make videos for YouTube. So with that being said, here's my thought so far. This dresser is not very deep, about 2 feet deep, so it's less deep than my workbench. I'm thinking about scooting it from here all the way over and putting it on the wall where my workbench was, to give me some storage to kind of fill this space here and alleviate the center workspace here of another item that kind of just bulks up the space. Alright, as you saw there, I went around and around a little bit trying to find something that I was happy with. This is where it's really nice to have my table saw on wheels, and the workbench, well, she's not light, but I got some muscles. You don't get muscles like this without a body like this. So what this gives me now is my workbench more centrally located in the workshop, which is nice. And it gives me my table saw over here, walking right there, which at first you would probably think, wow, that's dude, that's going to be horrible. How are you going to rip down your 8-foot boards or your sheets of plywood? Well, to be honest, I very rarely use my table saw for ripping large sheet goods or long boards. I most 95% of the time use my table saw with my sled for cross cuts. Short pieces, short cuts. So in that case, it's not going to really bother me that much for having my table saw right here. In the event I need to break down a large piece of plywood, or I need to do something with really long wood, I've always got my workbench and I've got my cordless circular saw. This will get used a lot for that. Alright guys, what do you think? I really like this layout. Got the table saw over here, kind of in the corner out of the way, because honestly, it's not a tool I use a ton in the workshop other than just for small little cross cuts. And then here, I've got the workbench. It's kind of centered in the shop because my hope is that this will kind of step up its A game and become more used in my shop. That's totally the workbench's fault, by the way, not mine. I can't be blamed for not using my own tools. Come on. So, da-da-da-da-da. Looks pretty good. I like the hardwood over there as far as a nice place to see it. I can get to it, I can use it. I want something a little bit better for the boards that are standing up on their ends, because all it's going to take is a couple of times me getting wood out, and I'm going to spill it everywhere. But for now, that works alright. I like the dresser being there because it doesn't stick out against the wall much, and it's good for storage. I can always have access to the things in the drawers. Overall, I'm very pleased with this. So, nice. I think that looks pretty good, guys. I put my bandsaw, joiner, and planer right there in the center. They're on wheels, so it's easy to move them around as I need to, and usually whenever I do use them, they get dragged over here to the doorway, so stuff can be fired out the door. I like the workbench being centrally located. This will enable me to start using this thing more often. The workbench is probably the most important tool you can have in a workshop, so having it here out in the middle will encourage me to use it more. Also, having the dresser over here against the wall allows it to have its new purpose in life, which is surface-itis. It's doing good on that so far with the scrap hardwood storage and things like that. But it also allowed me to still get into the drawers down here, which will be handy for getting stuff out of the drawers. The table saw over here, you may be thinking is a bad placement, but that's something that each individual person needs to think about how they use their tools and what capacities, and really pick the best placement for you. That's where these, best workshop layouts, the best layouts for all your tools type videos, not really. There's not really one of those that fits everyone. Because if someone only does rip cuts on thin material, they won't care if this thing is in a hallway. If someone only does cross cuts, but really, really wide material, I'm not making much sense, but I know you know. I can tell you know. For me personally, I will not use my table saw for breaking down 4x8 sheets of plywood or giant boards. What I'll use for that is my cordless circular saw. It'll be a lot easier, a lot portable, and honestly, I really don't do that kind of work that much. This isn't a cabinet shop. This is mostly a small maker shop and largely wood turning of utensils and small items. Things that I don't need my table saw front and center for breaking down sheet goods. I need it over there, nice and quiet, polite, not picking on the bandsaw, and I need it just to do its job when I need it to do it. So you hear that? You go do your job. Workshop feels so much more peaceful. It's starting to really help with my zen. Alright guys, that's probably going to be it for this shop vlog. I'm glad that I finally got these things placed where I think they will live permanently. At least until I change my mind again. If you guys have any other suggestions or ideas for my shop, let me know in the comments below. I genuinely love talking, conversing, commenting, and all the other comms that you have with people. It's cool to have you guys here in my shop. You can see things and give me ideas. So, don't ever stop. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you next time in the workshop.